It's been more than a month and I can't stop thinking about that Pokemon Winds and Waves trailer. It just looks so good. It's everything I've wanted in Pokemon for a long time. It looks like we're getting a bunch of new Pokemon. It looks like a huge new region. It looks beautiful. The graphics look amazing. The battle system seems like it's going to be cool if it has anything to do with that cloud that looks like a Gyarados. We get to go underwater again. The logos are aesthetically pleasing. Like, everything from this trailer gets me excited. What about the stuff that's not on the trailer? What about the stuff that we haven't seen yet? Now, I don't like covering leaks on this channel. For one, I like to be surprised when I play a game. And for two, leaks are unreliable. I've seen a lot of people see leaks for a game, expect them to be true, and then when the leaks turn out to not be true, they're disappointed. And that's like nobody's direct fault. That's just kind of a shitty situation, which is why I tend to not love leaks. And I don't want to sit here and cover leaks. I've seen there are leaks. I try to avoid them as best I can, but I haven't blocked Central leaks, and that gets retweeted all over the place, so I've definitely brushed by a couple of them. But there's one in particular I saw that I really do think is possible. And not only do I think it's possible, I hope that it's true. What is it? That there's around 300 new Pokemon / new Pokemon forms in Pokemon Winds and Waves, which would be by far the most any Pokemon game has ever given us in one sitting. Frankly, it's almost too many. I mean, think about the first generation. It was 151 Pokemon. I don't even think we cracked 300 after the second generation. I think it took Gen 3 to officially give us over 300. Let me pull it up. Yes, indeed. Would you know it? Trico is Pokemon 252. So it took 3 generations to get to 300 Pokemon. By the way, Pokemon 300 is skitty, which if this is true, they would be saying that one Pokemon game is introducing as many Pokemon as Generation 1, Generation 2, and the first, quarter to a third of Generation 3. Or to give you some better, cleaner math, this would be as if Generation 1, 6, and 7 came out at the same time. Now, that includes regional forms. To be clear, this is new Pokemon and new forms, but honestly, I'm fine with that. I love regional forms. The idea of getting Pokemon we already know, but now with a new look, maybe a new typing, and new things that it does, that is permanent because it's a form and not a gimmick, that's awesome. I think regional forms are way better than a gimmick because then, like I said, you get to bring them into future games. But just think about how many Pokemon this is, and that's new, right? That's the huge thing to consider. This is new. From the trailer alone, we know there's returning Pokemon, which would imply that this game's regional dex is well over 300. I wouldn't be surprised if the regional dex is something closer to 400 or 500. Now, to be fair, it could be possible that these returning Pokemon do not show up until after you've beaten the game, which is a weird choice, but to be fair, Gen 5 did that, Black and White. Famously, Black and White was criticized for doing that. You could only encounter new Pokemon until you beat the game, and then old Pokemon started to show up wherever. Frankly, personally, I think that's the best way to do it. I loved Gen 5 and how it handled that, to give us only new Pokemon, and then over time, when we've gotten further into the game, your old favorites can show up again. That's awesome. And in that way, Gen 5 was the soft reset to kind of give us a fresh new look at Pokemon, which makes even more sense for this to be the Gen 10 game. Because Pokemon Winds and Waves is Generation 10. So the idea that we're getting this brand new game where you only get brand new Pokemon or Pokemon forms, and then in the post game, all the other Pokemon or a bunch of the other Pokemon come back in, that'd be awesome. So the main reason I'm making this video is not just to talk about this one leak. As you can see by the title and thumbnail, I wanted to talk about my wants for Pokemon Winds and Waves, what I'm excited to see, what I want to see, and things like that. But I had to start with this because the thing I want more than anything is a lot of Pokemon. I just love these little guys, and I wanted to see a lot of Pokemon, a lot of new Pokemon specifically. And it seems, if this leak is to be believed, that we're gonna get that, which I'm super, super excited about. What else do I want to see in Pokemon Winds and Waves? Pokemon Scarlet Violet had an excellent open world with an asterisk on it, because it wasn't quite an open world, was it? You could go anywhere you wanted to at any time, but the challenges were not curated to you. There was a correct order to do them, and if you try to do them in anything but the correct order, it's incredibly difficult. So the one thing I really want to see more than anything in Winds and Waves is a similar open world structure catered to your badge level. I think it makes the most sense by far. However many gym badges you have, the challenges ahead of you are catered to that. Specifically the gyms, but I wouldn't doubt if they do the same thing they've done in Scarlet and Violet, where there's the gyms, but also the Team Star captains and also the Titans. And it's not like this is coming out of nowhere, and I'm not the only person saying this. The anime itself shows us this is how it works. We get that clip from, I don't know if it's the movie that remade the first generation of the anime or what, but that clip where Brock goes to the side, opens a shelf, and we see him swapping out Pokeballs after he learns how many badges Ash has. That's just smart world building. Not everybody starts their journey in Pallet Town. So gym leaders are going to have to adjust how they fight people based on the badge number of the gym challenger who's came in. If somebody lives on Cinnabar Island, I don't think it's fair that to start your gym journey, you gotta go across the continent to fight Brock. You should be able to start at the gym in your hometown, and you should be able to walk in and Blaine won't just hit you with a Rapidash and Arcanine at level 42. I should be able to walk in and fight like a Growlithe and a Ponyta at level 20 like a reasonable gym battle. The idea that we get a massive open world and it's not structured like this is crazy to me, because it doesn't really make it an open world anymore. You just can go anywhere while having to go one direction. So that kinda sucks. What else do I wanna see? A quick intro. If anything, God, is it greedy to say it? The thing I want more than anything in this game, the ability to skip tutorials and cutscenes. If I start up this game and the intro cutscene plays and there's a little skip button in the bottom corner, I'm not gonna hit it, but it's nice to look at. And then, you wake up, you get your bag, you talk to your mom, you leave, you get your starter, and then your rival looks at you and goes, "Oh, we gotta catch some Pokemon. Do you want me to show you?" And there's a no option. And I hit it and he goes, "Yeah, you already know. Let's go." I'm gonna find whoever directed this game and kiss them on the mouth. Because it should have been an option the whole time. But it is 2027 when this game comes out. And there's no goddamn excuse anymore. They already kind of did it in Sword and Shield, where in that game, if you catch a Pokemon before the tutorial, Hop goes to do it and goes, "Oh, you know how to do this," and then move on. Just make it a button. Let me say, "Yes, I understand," and end the tutorial. Depending on when this game comes out, I'm going to either be 28 or 29 years old. I've been playing Pokemon since elementary school. I know how to catch a fucking Pokemon. Let me skip the damn tutorial. But yeah, I'm really excited for the game. That's my wants above everything. My wants above everything is skippable cutscenes, skippable tutorial, actual open world, a lot of Pokemon. If all that's in there, I'm going to be replaying this game every month, dude. I am so excited. It looks so pretty. I want to be able to do fun challenge runs and Nuzlocke and stuff, but the games that I want to do them in suck, specifically to do that in. I already complained about this in my ZA review, but I would love to do a Nuzlocke of Scarlet Violet. I don't want to sit through an hour and a half of prologue and tutorials to be able to do a run. I just really want it. I want this game to be so good, man. We deserve it. We really do. But I'm not going to hold my breath. As long as there's a lot of Pokemon and they're cute and the starters don't turn into like weird anthropomorphic humanoid mascots, I'm in. I'm picking Brout anyway, though. Look at my guy. Look at him. I'm picking Brout. But until next time, as always, you've been watching RyeTwost. Of all the YouTube channels, this is the second one. Stay toasty, slices.